by next week I hope that I will have everything in a sort of permanent quality, but I hope this is already working fine now for you. Right, so it's 1:15. If you haven't done it yet, maybe a blanket would be something useful for this lesson, or a cushion to sit on. Also, what's always a good thing to have is a block. And we need something a little bit more unusual today, which is a kind of a saucer. And possibly, if you can quickly find something to put on top, something that doesn't matter if it falls down. If you don't have that, it's also fine just to have a saucer. If you also don't have a saucer, you can just have your whole hand like that. But I will quickly stop now, so if you want to go to the kitchen quickly to get something, just a second, and then we'll continue. Okay. So, today we will have a little bit of a more quiet start to the lesson, where we will connect with the breath. For that, I invite you to either lie down on your back or to keep seated the way I will do it. Lying down is a little bit easier, but feel free to do whichever way works better. After that, we will become a bit more active, and then towards the end, a little bit calmer again. So either find a good seating position or lie down on your back. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes now for a moment, or just focus your gaze internally. And allow yourself to arrive wherever you are right now. Notice how you feel in your body. Notice how you feel mentally, emotionally. What kind of mood you're in. Then we'll quite quickly now already start with a breathing exercise, which we will build up with several parts. The first part is ujjayi breathing, which is the breathing where we slightly restrict the throat to create a sort of a wave-like sound. If you have never done that, or also if you have done it many times, a good way to start it is to exhale through your mouth with a sort of. We will do this 3 times through the mouth and then continue through the nose. So inhale. Close your mouth, continue through your nose, inhale and exhale. And then additionally place your hands now on your stomach. So for this whole breathing exercise, if possible, continue with ujjayi breath. If that's new to you or uncomfortable, you can also just breathe quietly. And we'll add one more element, which is a lengthened exhalation. The way this works is when you inhale, count up to 4. When you exhale, count up to 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue like this in your own rhythm. And notice how with every inhale your stomach expands a little bit. And with every exhale your stomach becomes flatter again. One last time here. And then slowly come to a next breathing space. Bring your hands towards your rib cage. And again, focus your breath now underneath your hands. Inhale. Feel your whole chest rising, expanding, and exhale. Notice how your ribs are coming closer towards each other again. If possible, continue with ujjayi and with lengthened exhale. Every breath a new invitation to arrive a little bit more in the present moment. And then also one last conscious breath here. And then slowly come to the next space. Place your hands on top of your chest so that your fingertips reach your collarbones. Close your eyes again if comfortable. Now again, inhale underneath your hands. Feel a gentle lifting and expanding sensation also here. And exhale, relax everything again. See if you can welcome every breath with a curious and open mind. Every breath is a little bit different than the previous one. New and fresh. And then also here, take a last conscious breath. release your hands and bring your legs together, either in a seated position or lying down. Place your heels a little bit more forward and your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. If you sit, you could also open your legs a little bit more. Now interlace your fingers and turn the palms out. Your arms are straight, and with your next inhale, take both arms high up over your head. Hold your breath for a moment. And exhale slowly, let your arms go back down. Also here you can have a pattern. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold to the count of 4. And exhale to the count of 8. If you wish, still breathe with ujjayi. And the last one, if you wish now, this time, hold your breath a little bit longer, suck your stomach in and up. And then when you need to exhale slowly, take your arms back down, release your hand. Place your hands either on the ground if you're lying or on your legs and just observe for a moment. Relax your breath. And then if you're still lying down, slowly come back up. If you're seated and if you have a blanket or cushion, place this to the side. Come on to sort of starting position for tabletop. Your fingers are first pointing forward. You open your chest, shoulders are rotating backwards. And inhale, you slowly lift up and bring your knees over your ankles. Gaze goes up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower back down. Continue a few more times in your own rhythm. Inhale, lift. Hold. Exhale down. Probably a familiar movement to most of you. Just one more time and then we'll add a new movement here. One more time up. And down. So now place your fingers so that they face out. And maybe it's good to watch me doing it first for one time. Inhale, you go up again, and then with your right arm you reach over, gaze is towards your left hand, and exhale back down. Now inhale again, lift, reach over with your left arm, do a sort of twist, and exhale back down. A few more times in your own rhythm. Your legs are not moving very much at all. The movement is really coming more from your torso. And the last one. And then we'll do a little fun transition. Maybe watch first and then copy me. So the same start, you come up, you reach over, and then you just Turn over so that you are now on all fours. And we'll continue from here. Make sure your fingers are spread a little bit, knees are underneath the hip joints. And with your next inhale, lift the right leg, bend your leg, lift your chest, gaze goes forward, toes pointing to the ceiling. And exhale, head and knee close together. Inhale again, same movement. And exhale. Few more times in your own rhythm. Now with your next inhale, also extend the left arm, extend the leg now. Place your heel, point your heel back. Exhale, make a fist, bring elbow, knee and head together. Inhale, extend again. Exhale, rounding your back. Inhale, extend the last time. And exhale, come back down onto your knees. Do a little wrist exercise. Place your hands so that your fingers are pointing backwards as far as possible. If this is hard for you, it's also okay if they are pointing out to the side a little bit more. Walk a little bit closer with your knees. Come onto your toes and for a couple of times lean back until you feel the stretch here in your forearm. Then do that with a long exhale through your mouth or nose. And one more time. Really slowly leaning back into the stretch. Now this time hold it for a little bit longer. And slowly release. Maybe loosen up your wrists a little bit. And then place them one more time underneath your shoulders, and we'll do the other side of our cat-cow exercise. Inhale, this time lift your left leg, bend first, gaze forward, chest is open, and exhale, rounding in your own rhythm, possibly still with ujjayi breathing. With your next inhale, also engage the right arm, extend the leg now, extend the arm, exhale, rounding in. And the last one. And then exhale, release. And just for a quick moment, roll back into child's pose, hands under your head, fists or flat hands, or alongside your legs. Feel free to move a little bit from side to side, or remain completely still. And with your next inhale, slowly come back up. So now is the time for a little shoulder exercise. And for this one, we'll need now the saucer, and maybe you have also something to put on top. So if you have maybe already been in my yoga classes or watched the video for shoulder and neck exercises, you know this exercise where we sort of do this movement here. I showed it in standing, and now we will add one more level of difficulty, which is to have the other hand fixed on the ground. So this may be something that, if you have never done it, is a little bit difficult to understand. So I suggest you first just watch it, and then you see if you can mirror me. So you come down with your right hand, you have the saucer now in your left hand, and you do an inward rotation with your wrist. Then you go over the head in a big circle. I will just continue showing it in a kind of slow motion, and you just follow along. The aim is to do it quite fluidly. Maybe after a while you can increase the speed a little bit. Then, if you go too fast, maybe your little object has fallen down. Right, so now we will try with the same hand the opposite movement. So the opposite direction, we'll start with the big circle and end with the small circle. I find this a tiny bit easier. I don't know how it is for you. I think my little duck is feeling a little bit dizzy by now, so I'll just do one more time. Alright. I hope you understood. I will also record a little YouTube video for that later, so you can do it again if you wish to do that later again. But first, we still have another side to try. So take the saucer into your other hand and first start with the small circle. Come over. This is always harder for me. Maybe you also notice that one side is easier than the other. Or maybe for you, both sides are similar. And one last time in this direction. Alright. And now change. Big circle first. And small circle after. And also a last one here. And then slowly come to an end. Maybe loosen up everything a little bit again. Smile. And then we'll continue now in standing, and I invite you, if you have your mat, to also put it squarely towards your screen. This will make things a little bit easier for you with the next sequence. So I invite you to come up now onto your mat and step your feet out a little bit with the toes pointing out to the side. So pretty soon we'll go into goddess or horse stance pose. So this looks like this. It almost should feel like this little bouncy. But if you feel that it's too tiring for the legs, at any time you can also straighten the legs. What's important is that the knees are going out and not collapsing inwards. But to start with, I invite you to start with straight legs and to do the arm movement first. Inhale, lift your arms up over the side. And exhale, take them back down again. Your palms are facing up, and it's maybe a good idea to watch once what they are doing, both arms, but then face the front again. So now, if you wish, come into horse stance. Inhale. Exhale, your left hand goes to the right and your right hand goes to the left. And it's as if you want to push a wall away with both hands in opposite directions. Inhale, you come back up, open, and exhale, you change sides. Continue in your own rhythm. Important here is that your legs don't start moving with the movement, but that only your upper body is moving. The legs are solid. And you really also want to feel that side stretch of that side where your arm is up. And maybe you feel your legs getting a bit tired by now. At least I do. So, and last time, inhale and exhale. And inhale, arms out to the sides. Exhale. Straighten your legs, step a little bit closer. Maybe give your thighs a brief massage. And then just allow yourself to take mountain pose for a conscious moment. Either your hands are facing forward or you bring thumb and the index finger together. And I invite you to one more time do 3 exhalations through your mouth like we did at the beginning. And then slowly open your eyes again. And one more time, take a bigger step. This time even bigger than before, if possible, quite as long as one leg of yours is long. And then take your right foot and point it 90 degrees so that it's pointing towards the small edge of your mat. Lift your other heel up and gently place it a little bit further back. And then bend the right knee. So now make sure your knee doesn't go too far over the foot. If that was the case, you should increase your step a little bit. Your pelvis is facing the front, and at the moment your spine is still completely straight. You inhale, take your arms up again. And exhale this time with your palms facing down, take warrior 2. Will not stay for too long here, just again, look what your right hand is doing and what your left hand is doing. Then face the front again, inhale into reverse warrior, leaning a little bit back, and exhale into side angle pose. Your forearm goes onto your thigh, and you lengthen your other side. Again now a few times, moving backwards and forwards without moving the legs. And see if this is the breathing pattern that suits you, or maybe your body is breathing a little bit differently now. There's no necessarily right or wrong, as long as you're conscious of the breath. So when you're next time in side angle pose, I invite you to stay here and now reach vertically up with your hand, kind of lifting, and then we'll do a version of triangle pose. So all you have to do is just slightly see if you can straighten the front leg without coming into a rounding shape. Maybe you can straighten it completely, or maybe you stay somewhere halfway and you stay for a few more breaths. Feeling length in your spine from the tailbone to the crown of your head. Inhale one more time here. And exhale, gently bend your front leg a little bit more. Come down to the floor. Again, facing now with both feet to the front. And maybe just for a moment, relax here a little bit. Maybe move. Now slowly come back up. And get ready for a twist. So if you couldn't reach with your hands down easily, either bend your legs, take a block, or open your legs a little bit wider. And bring your left hand, either on fingertips or on a fist, towards the middle. Inhale, open with your right hand like a wing up to the ceiling. And exhale, change hands. Inhale, open to the other side. And exhale, close. Now see if you can continue this movement without moving the legs and the pelvis very much. See that most of the rotation is coming from your torso again. Each side one more time. And then slowly bring your knees and your feet closer together so that you can come down into a squatting position with your toes slightly pointed out, with your hands together and the elbows are gently opening the knees a little bit more to the side. Your whole back is long, chest is open. Maybe give yourself, or us who are watching, a little smile here. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands back down and lift your pelvis up. Inhale, back to Malasana, squatting position. Exhale, again, forward fold. A few more times in your own rhythm. And then slowly come to an end. When your pelvis is up next, you walk even a little bit closer together with your feet. And then gently bend the knees again. Inhale with your arms up over the side, lift up. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Become aware of your heartbeat. Now slowly open your eyes again. And another second time now, come into a bigger step like we did before. And this time the left foot turns 90 degrees out and the right heel lifts, goes back a little bit. And you bend the left knee if possible or necessary. Make your step bigger. Facing the front with your pelvis. Inhale, lift both arms high. And exhale, warrior two with your arms out to the sides. Let your consciousness really go out into your fingers as well. Notice what each finger is doing. Maybe check with your gaze the alignment. Relax your shoulders and then face the front again. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle pose. to challenge your balance, you could also see it once if you could do it with your eyes closed. Which makes the whole thing maybe a little bit more challenging or interesting. But of course you can also continue with your eyes open. One last time, reverse warrior here. And when you're next in side angle pose, take your right hand vertically up and see if you can straighten the front leg a little bit more towards a variation of triangle. Breathe here. One more inhale. And then slowly again, bending the front leg, coming down towards your mat. This time, place your toes a little bit out to the side. And you begin to move, bending one leg and having the other leg straight. And you also move with your hands from one side to the other. And if it works well for you, come or rotate over the heels into a sort of half squatting position. And then when you are next in this position, on the right side with the right leg bent, stay here. And we'll do two things. First, we'll have the heel lifted, which is easier for mobility but harder for balance. See if you can slowly lift up and bring your hands towards heart center. Breathe. Your face is still relaxed. And slowly change sides again. Here what's important, make sure your knee is pointing out, not in. So the hips are open. And see if you can come up again into this balancing half squat position. Of course, if you have pain in your knee, that wouldn't be a good idea to do this. So I remind you to practice responsibly on your own. If you ever have pain in your joints, you just leave out a pose or see if you can adapt it. So now we'll go again to the other side. And now we want to work a little bit more on mobility. So see if you can bring your heel, your right heel, a little bit closer to the ground. Maybe you have to round in your back. Calm down with your hands more. Just see what's possible for you here. And maybe you could even lift up again. Or you could do variation with your arm. Play a little bit here. Whichever feels good. And then slowly, last time, transition to the other side. And see if you can bring the heel a little bit closer or even fully on the ground. Breathe. See what variation works for you here. And then slowly release. Maybe you can just sit down like that, or you find another way to arrive in a seated position. Shake your legs out a little bit. And then sit in a way that your feet are now quite wide apart. And you can just take your hands in a comfortable way behind you. It doesn't really matter which way the fingers are pointing. And you go into a sort of windshield wiper position. And what what's interesting here is the leg that rotates internally. So here's just my right leg. I can now feel a stretch sort of here over my outer thigh. Maybe you feel it in a different place. This always also depends on where you are, a little bit shorter maybe in your tissue. Just a few times like this. Alright. Now when the legs are next time sort of on the right, bent towards the right, you can see carefully if you can take the legs in a position where the left leg is like sort of in a half position like this, half virasana, and the right foot goes to the inside of the thigh, close to the knee. If you have pain here, that's not a good idea, so you extend the leg. Choose whichever works for you better. You could also use a blanket, maybe fold it or roll it a little bit and sit sort of over the edge, which may make it a little bit easier for you. Now we'll come into a twist. With your left hand you go to the right knee or thigh. You begin to twist so that your upper body is now facing towards the side. Maybe lift once your right arm, inhale here, and exhale, bring the back of your hand on your back and sort of slide it around towards the right side and left side of your waist. And notice how this now also stretches your right shoulder. Breathe here. Notice where your breath moves your body. And then slowly rotate back. And now we will see if we can go into a pigeon pose. Maybe watch first and then copy. So see now if you can extend the back leg a little bit more. It doesn't have to be completely straight. And you just see if you can go forward a little bit over this right leg here. You can also go down all the way if you feel good. Or if you are in the other version with the leg straight, you just go do it like this. It's a little bit different kind of stretch, but that's also okay. What's important here is that you can relax. There's nothing to achieve here other than just being, melting more and more into this pose. Your next inhale, slowly come back up. Gently release your legs. And then twist the legs towards the left. See if you can take your right foot fully back. Your left foot towards the thigh, or again, like this. If this is hard here, you could also put something underneath the knee to have it a little bit higher. Begin twisting to the left. Take your right hand towards your thigh or knee. Lift the left hand high up. Inhale. And exhale, come with the back of your hand onto your back and and slide it around towards the right side of your waist. Continue to breathe. And then slowly release again. Place your hands on the floor and extend, if possible, the right leg more. And slowly lower down into a pigeon. And allow yourself this time where you now have to do nothing other than just being in your body, connected with your own breath. And then inhale and slowly come back up. Take the legs forward again. And then I invite you to find once more a comfortable seated position where you can stay for a few minutes. Relax your hands on your legs. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And I invite you to a short compassion meditation, Karuna meditation. It's something from Buddhism. And if you have already been practicing yoga with me, you might be familiar with metta meditation, which is a similar thing, the meditation of loving kindness, where we also work with sentences that we internally repeat with different people and with ourselves. So Karuna meditation is quite similar, just with different sentences. And it's more meant if you have people that you know they have a hard time at the moment, who are maybe suffering or struggling, or if yourself you have times that you feel difficult to deal with, or aspects of yourself that you feel difficult to deal with. These sentences might make sense to use. It's all optional, so if it's not like the correct wording for you, feel free to adapt it so that it suits your own needs. I plan also to do a little bit longer YouTube video at some stage to explain a bit more and to have a bit more time for this meditation. But for now, allow yourself to relax. See if you can connect now with somebody from your life, somebody that you know who has a bit of a more challenging situation at the moment. Could be a physical illness or a difficult work situation, or challenging relationship situation. See if you can connect with this person, also on the level of your heart, on an emotional level. But the whole idea of this compassion meditation is not to get sucked into their difficulty, but to keep calm and centered while now towards this person. May you be free of pain and suffering. May you find peace. May you be free of pain and suffering. May you find peace. May you be free of pain and suffering. May you find peace. Now, if this is somebody that you know is like hard to be completely free of pain and suffering, you could also adapt it and say, may you accept your pain and suffering. May you be at peace. Now slowly take your attention away from this person and focus on yourself. And direct the sentences of karuna towards yourself. May I be free of pain and suffering. May I be at peace. May I be free of pain and suffering. May I be at peace. May I be free of pain and suffering. May I be at peace. Then slowly come to an end, and if you wish to have a little relaxation on your back, feel free to lie down. If you want to stay seated, that's also possible. So if you lie down on your back, make sure you're warm enough. And maybe just take your knees in front of your chest and do a few more circles with your knees. Or if there's any other movement that you've been missing in the lesson, you can now do that for yourself. And then maybe, so kind of as a last movement before Shavasana, place your hands wherever it's comfortable. Either extend your legs or let your knees fall in towards each other. And just gently move your head from one side to the other. If you have a block ready, you could also do this exercise with the block. Placing the block with the edge on your basis of your skull. And this is a very relaxing exercise. Breathe naturally. Slowly come to an end. And find a position where you can stay now for a little bit longer. If you feel like it, you could maybe rub your hands and place them either on your face or on a different part of your body. You could also repeat that 1 or 2 times more. And just see that you have now a position where you don't have to move anymore for the next just a few minutes left of our class. And once again, check in with yourself. Check how you feel now on a physical level. On a mental, emotional level. Notice if you feel maybe a little bit calmer now. Maybe a little bit more spacious in your body. And once you're one more time, remind yourself there is no right or wrong sensation. Practice accepting every sensation as it shows up right now. Some are maybe pleasant, some may be unpleasant. And see if you can find that quiet place behind all these sensations, all these feelings. Maybe imagine the image of a lake and you just dive deeper. Dive below all these sensations, all these feelings. To the quiet ground of your lake. Imagine yourself lying down now on the ground of your lake. Watching upwards through the water, towards the surface of your water. So you can just watch what's happening there without getting involved any longer. Allow yourself to stay a few more breaths on this quiet ground of your lake. And when you hear the sound of my singing bowl, that's the sign for you to slowly make your journey back towards the top. And slowly find your way back into the present moment. Wednesday afternoon. Then, if you haven't already done so, begin to take deeper breaths and stretch yourself a little bit into all directions. Slowly find your way back into a seated position, or if you prefer a little longer rest, feel free to do so. I'm going to say goodbye right now. Thank you very much for practicing, and hopefully see you next week again. Take care.